All right, ironically, I think I am sick, but this goes back to prom. And like most people, when I went to prom, I made sure that I had beer. I made sure that we had wine coolers, and that was in the trunk of the car. Uh, it was a normal prom. We went to prom. We enjoyed it. We went back to our friend's house. Afterwards, we drank, or yes, we drank said coolers. We drank said beer. And then we went to a real party afterwards. And I was, go figure, the one that would usually drink more than my girlfriend would. That typically is how it seemed to work. This particular evening, though, the tables turned quite dramatically. And as we're at this party, I'm finding myself snatching drinks out of her hand, glasses of vodka straight out of her hand, which she's tossing down quite frequently, quite easily. There's a point at which I realize I need to take her out of this party. So, after a lot of convincing, I get her out of the party and I get her into the car. It's not my car, it's my uncle's car, which is obviously borrowed for this occasion. So we go driving around because she's quite drunk. And we pull over, not to park, but just to park so that she can kind of talk and I can get her through this. And she's sitting there and we're having a conversation. And that's when the glassy look in her eye told me it was coming. This was not my car. I can't get to the door handle to open the door. It's in a different place. It's coming. Between her legs, her head goes down between her legs. She throws up. Somehow I get the door open. I swing it open. Her head rotates. She pukes all over the right speaker, all over the map, or map holder guide, whatever that is. I get out of the car quickly. I get her out of the car. I sit her down on the curb. She's sitting on the curb. I'm in kind of not panic mode, but just that gear that parents and distraught boyfriends with their uncle's cars get into. And I am getting everything I can find to clean up this mess, including the prom socks, which I had long discarded, that were purchased because you can't rent those. All of the newspaper that I had wrapped each individual bottle of each individual case of each cooler of each case of beer, so that when I pulled up into my parents' driveway and her parents' driveway, the bottles wouldn't rattle and give me away. I'm using all of this newspaper. While I'm doing this, she's puking on the rear tire of the car. So somehow I clean all this up. I have no idea where the newspaper, I have no idea where the socks, I have no idea where any of this stuff ended up. Please, in retrospect, let me not have left it in the poor gentleman's yard. But I go to try to get her into the car to take her home, which is only several blocks away. She won't get in the car. She refuses to get in the car. She's too embarrassed. I literally she was walking down the middle of the street. I literally had to drive the car behind her, headlights on, 4 o'clock in the morning, following her until she finally gets to her house. Yes, Debbie, you know who this is. We get to her house. We're sitting on the curb. She won't go in the house. I can't get her in the house. Her brother finally arrives, and At 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, I turn her over to him and I say, I need a solid. I need you to take her in. I need you to get her to bed. I need you to make sure she doesn't aspirate, that she makes it through the night, etc. I take the car home. I'll get this as quickly as I can. I take the car home. That next day, I spend the whole day. I go to Kmart and I buy every cleaning supply that I can possibly find. I clean this car down. It is a magnificent feat. It's almost like Winston Wolfe, Jules, and Vincent in Pulp Fiction, wiping this car down clean. The smell of orange cooler reeks in this car because that was the first thing she drank that night and the last thing that came out of her stomach. I clean the car. Everything's relatively good. I call her, and she doesn't want to talk to me. She's too embarrassed. And her best friend tells me that she doesn't want to talk to me. Well, long story short, I end up going over to the house, and I convince her that, no, I don't want to break up with her, but I'd very much like if she would come out of the house. And, that's pretty much the end of the evening. So, thank you.